wisdom to confront the militarism which we know their generation cannot afford. In the Gospel of Mark, one teenager dressed only in a loincloth, trying to stay with Jesus to the end. Everybody else is gone, the mothers, the brothers, the friends, the disciples, the closest ones, they've all gone. This young kid is trying to hang in there with Jesus, but then he realizes they could grab his neck, they're really going to take Jesus, and so he runs away, and the soldiers grab for him, and they get his breeches, they get his little loincloth, and he runs away naked. And nakedness was a sign of shame in the ancient Near East, as it would be today in Abu Ghraib or Cordaro. And that gospel in its first ending concludes when the women go to the tomb, and the stone is rolled away, and they enter, and there's a young man, dressed in an immaculate white gown. Is it the Markan community likening themselves to that little guy in white who ran away, and then finding that they've recovered their courage and their strength and their wisdom? The young man in the immaculate white gown raises his hand and he says, "Go. The one whom you seek is not here. Don't be afraid. And go tell everyone." And the women are very afraid they run away to the toilet. When I was in Iraq, I had one of the highest gifts of a lifetime. We used to call it madrasa Polish. We meant shoeshine boys, where you couldn't get our shoes polished anymore. There were many shoe leather left. But we would teach them little bits of English, and they'd teach us little bits of Arabic, and we call it madrasa Polish. And it's a long, long story. I'd love to tell it sometime, but we ended up teaching to them and to others verses of the national civil rights anthem, "We Shall Overcome." So I would just like to be thinking again of the teenagers, thinking of those who want to be too big for their britches, and that I think just about everybody in this room. We do have kindred spirits in other parts of the world, relying on us, wanting us to live up to that history which is so extraordinary and is ours, coming from the land of the civil rights movement and the women's movement and the union movement and the movement to end the Vietnam War. And we do have that anthem. I'll just sing it to you as those kids sang it. We'll walk hand in It was 1998. I just experienced 4 days of intensive bombing in the desert not stopping. And they sang loudly and clearly, "We are not afraid." They would have been 12, 13 then, maybe 22 and 23 now. It's my deepest and my fondest hope that the youngest amongst us can join together with us now, crossing what sometimes seem like barriers, but guided by the belief that we are all part of one another, that it's good to be too big for our britches, that fatalism ought not interfere with, much less inconvenience, interfere with our chance to be the people of God, to be the followers of the body of Christ. Thank you very much.
Chicago, I think of many things and many traditions. One of them is going back to labor struggles and civil rights and many other things. The tradition of people who champion rights and justice. I sat at the theater once in Jackie in Chicago for 4 years when I was in seminary. And it was one of the great blessings. You are part of a great tradition, and more importantly for all of us, we would be part of a great future. Thank you very much. During this past year, Catholic Peace Ministry had